From the University of Illinois, Sports Channel presents the Illinois High School Association State Individual Wrestling Championships. And welcome to a jam-packed assembly hall here on the campus of the U of I in Champaign-Urbana. I'm Mike Lederman, along with Sun-Times writer and wrestling expert Rob Sherrill, back with you again. We have got an outstanding meet on tap, and yet, as is so often the case in sports today, we've got controversy. The Illinois High School Association has disqualified or tried to disqualify three-time defending state champion Mount Carmel, the Caravan, from the team championships in 1995. The issue has to do with how many tournaments the Caravan competed in violation of IHSA bylaws. What's up, Rob?
Well, at stake is the number of tournaments they competed in. The IHSA says they competed in 5. Mount Carmel said they competed in 4, which is what the IHSA rules allow. That Mount Carmel has won 2 rounds in the courtroom. They were granted an injunction by the Cook County Circuit Court. The appellate court upheld Mount Carmel's injunction. The IHSA will go to the Supreme Court on Tuesday. Maybe that's where it'll end.
At this point, Mount Carmel has the upper hand, and yet the courts still have to rule, so things are in a bit of flux. It will not affect things tonight. This is the individual championships. And Mount Carmel is here with the rest of its team, and they're doing quite well, thank you. They've got 3 wrestlers in the finals tonight. Tony Davis, TJ Williams are defending champions, and there are other defending champions as well.
Okay, Mike, let's start with Class AA. At 112, we'll see Matt Goldstein of Conant. Matt won the 103-pound championship in '94. At 135, it's one of the Mount Carmel returning champions, Tony Davis. He won at 125 last year. At 145, the other returning champ for the Caravan, TJ Williams, goes for his 3rd straight title. And at 160, it's Bill Zeman of Lyons, last year's 152-pound champion. In Class A, Tom LeCure of Plano, last year's 103-pound champion, will wrestle at 119. At 140, it's Tyler Hurry of Riverdale going for his 3rd straight title. Mike Greenfield of Belleville-Althoff, who won at 145 last year, wrestles at 160. And Jamin Soria of Ashton goes at 275. Jamin is the first in state history to be a 4-time place winner at heavyweight.
We'll be back with the action. It starts right after this. As you look at the assembly hall, the Class A matches will be on your left, the AA's on your right. We will highlight as much of both as we can. Let's swing over to the AA, our first match at 103 pounds. Jim Aberle from Woodstock at 44-1. He's in the royal blue. When we come down, and David Stoltz in the brown. Stoltz from Arlington Heights, Hersey. Three 2-minute periods, overtime when we need it. Aberle on the right, Stoltz on the left. Stoltz coming out of the Barrington sectional. Actually, both young men did. This is a rematch with Stoltz winning the semi of that section.
And Stoltz came back with a 5-point move right at the end, and a match Aberle was winning to go to the finals and eventually win it. And I think he's hoping to get off to a little bit faster start this time.
David Stoltz knocked off one of the favorites, Miguel Rivas. And Aberle defeated Ryan DeLira from Mount Carmel, who also was thought to be a potential finalist, pinning DeLira in under 4 minutes. No scoring yet. About 1 minute gone by in the first period. Dave Brost, Mike Wilkie, the officials. And in wrestling, one official with the whistle makes the calls. The other official is a guide. They'll ask for help. The lead official will if he needs it. See the scoreboard behind you. 35 seconds left in period number 1. We are scoreless.
Usually seems like the 103-pound final every time kind of gets off to a slow start. These guys are the first guys out of the blocks, kind of trying to not only feel each other out, but get their own butterflies out of their system so that they can work on some offense.
20 seconds and we get a first stall warning.
First stall warning to Aberle. Now he's in on the attack.
Aberle now scores. Leads it 2-0. Jim Aberle, a junior, Stoltz a sophomore. Final 5 seconds here in period number 1. And Aberle, you see the green anklet there with the 2-0 lead. You can read the scoreboard that way. The red corner and the green corner. Now they will flip the disc to see who gets the choice of the up position or the down position, or whether to defer as we go to period 2.
Stoltz had the choice and he deferred, which means he'll get the choice at the start of the 3rd period. Aberle then had to take the choice for the 2nd period and he chose down.
Aberle leading 2-0. He is in the down position as we begin the 2nd period. And the escape by Stoltz. Check it by Aberle, it's 3-0. And 2 points for the takedown, 1 point for the escape. Three 3-0 the score. Aberle in blue with the lead. Not much action here so far, as you mentioned, Ron.
Two very evenly matched wrestlers. Both of them had a lot of success in the summer. Both of them have been standouts in the age group 15-16 nationals, which we call the cadets. Stoltz was second twice last year. He's trying to spin behind for the takedown now, and now Aberle trying to step over. And it's a takedown for Stoltz and a 3-2.
Under a minute left in period number 2.
Aberle 2 years ago was a champion in the Cadet Nationals. Stoltz a 2-time runner-up last summer. So both these guys have competed in wrestling year-round and have a lot of success, as you see Aberle with the escape.
4-2 for Aberle, the junior from Woodstock. He's in blue, Stoltz in brown from Arlington Heights, Hersey. Off the mat. Coach is Jim Patton for Woodstock, Rick Mann for Hersey. And again, 2 more points for Aberle. So it's now a 6-2 margin. Final 5 seconds of second period action. Aberle with the advantage as we go to the 3rd and final period.
Stoltz will start on the bottom here as we go to the 3rd period. And once again, last week when these guys met at the sectional, it was Aberle who was in control most of the way until Stoltz caught him with that 5-point move right at the end of the match for the win. So I'm sure Aberle is going to be very conscious of that and to try and wrestle under control as we go into the 3rd.
When you think of how quickly fortunes can change in this sport, you only have to think back to the match last year between Gerties and Bybee, where with I think 2 seconds left to go.
That was only 1 point in that case, but it was a point that tied up the match and sent it into overtime and gave Bybee a chance to win.
A minute 32 left in regulation. Jim Aberle of Woodstock in blue with a 6-2 lead. So Mr. Stoltz has got to get moving here.
Now Stoltz trying to stand up, and he got that escape pretty easily. Now he really needs to go to the offense.
6-3 now for Aberle in blue.
And Aberle has to do the same thing. He has a warning for stalling in this match, which he got in the 1st period.
And stalling is an infraction that is being called much more strictly, Rob, as we'll find out later. Certainly affected at least one weight class outcome for the finals. Actually, 2.
A lot of kids come into the state tournament a little nervous, a little tight, and sometimes it is up to the officials to make them open up and get some offense going.
45 seconds to go. Again, a 3-point lead for Aberley in blue.
And again, the officials are not afraid to do that here and have never been in the state tournament. Now Aberley trying to come out for the takedown, and it's a stalemate.
Stalemate. They bring both wrestlers back to the center of the mat. Into the neutral position. 30 seconds left to go. The 103-pound Class AA final here. Neither wrestler has placed before at state. And we get a stall point. Right here, 6-4. Correction, Aberley third in this class last year. 15 seconds, a 2-point margin here. Stoltz, the deficit against him now. 10 seconds. David Stoltz is going to move. He's got 7 seconds to do it.
Stoltz trying now to throw by. Now he has to bring them back to the mat for the points.
1 second to go. Did he get it? Yes, he got it. He got it at the last second. We're going to overtime. David Stoltz made the move as you described, Rob, in the final 2 seconds. Now we go to overtime again, 2 minutes maximum, but there is sudden death here. First wrestler to score a point, 4 points, will win.
Aberley hasn't scored for a while since the second period, and it's he who really needs to establish the offense here. He's let Stoltz come back on him again, just like he did in the sectional. Stoltz trying to spin behind.
30 seconds to go. 30 seconds gone, a minute 30 to go. We're tied at 6 in sudden death overtime. Stoltz in brown,
Stoltz
Aberley
trying
in blue.
To hip him over, and that is not 2 yet. It almost was. He needs to come out behind and get his hips over Aberley's hips, but Aberley has control of the leg.
Stoltz has been the aggressor since the middle of this.
This is closer to Stoltz having control than Aberley if he could get behind him, and there it is.
David Stoltz coming back from a 4-point deficit, and he is your champion, the sophomore from Arlington Heights, Hersey, in overtime. 8-6, good match. Rob, it started slowly, but it certainly had a good finish to it.
Well, Stoltz almost made the same fatal mistake he made in the sectional, getting started late. But once he got going, he came back and had enough to win the state title.
David Stoltz, your AA winner. In Class A, the 103-pound match between Kevin Clausen of Aledo, Adam Wason of Princeton. Clausen with the pin to win the championship. He finished third in this event a year ago. He is the champion in 1995. Let's take a look at how it happened.
Well, Kevin Clausen has pretty much coasted to this position all season. There you see him turning Wason over to his back. Wason's had a tremendous freshman year, but he can't get out of this one.
The senior beats the freshman, and right there, boom, a championship for Kevin Clausen of Aledo, his coach John Swank. Back to action here with a defending champion, Matt Goldstein, at 112 pounds. He is in the navy blue, well, in the red, white, and blue, very patriotically. Won at 103 in 94. Against Rafael Avila of Belvedere. Avila, if you follow our telecast for the football championships, he's one of Vern Pottinger's outstanding defensive backs, even at 112 pounds, Rob.
Well, they listed him at 121 in the state program, and he may have been all of 119, but an outstanding athlete in the Belvedere program, and certainly Laverne Pottinger can make winners out of kids no matter what their size is.
Two-time state champions in 5A and 4A for the Belvedere Bucks. That's football. We're wrestling now. Goldstein from Conant, 32-0 on the season. And what a story he is. Wrestled in the junior nationals. His father was in the Olympic judo trials. His mother teaches ballet. His sister has the lead in the Nutcracker. Anything else these people can't do?
Obviously a
very high-achieving family. Goldstein's father is in very much right now behind the effort to bring the wrestling program back to Eastern Illinois University, which unfortunately was dropped at the beginning of the year. It looks things look a little bit more positive there right now, and his dad has been behind the efforts from a legal standpoint very much.
Goldstein with a 1-point lead as we begin action in the second period. Rafael Avila, 37-2, also is a veteran of state competition, qualifying each year. This is his senior year. Gary Thacker.
And this is the second time in 3 years that Belvedere has had 2 wrestlers get to the state finals. And certainly Gary Thacker has his kids ready for this time of year. This is the first time Avila's placed, but he's come all the way here.
Finished third in the sectional, coming out of DeKalb, and really put on a big charge here at state. Goldstein, obviously, you consider the odds-on favorite here. He's got a 2-0 lead. A minute 20 to go here in the second period. It's Goldstein facing him as Avila tries to shoot the leg. Down goes Goldstein with a takedown. Nice move by Avila to tie it up with a minute 5 to go, second period.
Very nice finish there by Avila. It would have been good for him if he could have held Goldstein down for the back points, but certainly a very powerful move there as Goldstein spins out for the escape.
And a 1-point lead at 3-2, 45 seconds to go. This the AA 112-pound match.
Hey, Rafi, you reach his back, those hands up, go.
The referee, Jim Carnahan. The second official, Andy Warner.
Shoot! Motion! Motion! Circle! Circle!
Again, a low-scoring match as Goldstein goes for the leg. Given a point. And there you look at the red corner.
Point for fleeing the mat there. Even though Avila has the only takedown of the match, he has been warned and penalized for stalling. And there, that's a move that's not going to work very often against Goldstein, but he's still got the headlock and he scores with it.
Ties up the match at 4, 10 seconds to go, second period.
Got to give Avila a lot of credit. He is not afraid of Matt Goldstein. He has gone out here in the second period and scored with the offense that he has taken.
2 minutes to go in regulation now. We're tied at 4. And Matt Goldstein certainly has a match on his hands. Not that he expected to cruise in this, the state final, but he certainly had an easier road to it.
And now Avila is going to take his first lead of the match as Goldstein gives up the intentional escape.
Again, Rob, I know it's something that we've talked about a lot, but the intentional escape where you give your opponent a point, obviously you have to feel a lot more confident in letting him escape and going for 2 on the takedown as Goldstein is there. But talk about that strategy, would you?
Well, if you feel more comfortable on your feet and you have to start the match on top as Goldstein did there, you don't want to waste your energy trying to ride your opponent, especially if mat wrestling isn't what you do best. Maybe get warned, penalized for stalling, or even get reversed. You want to take it to your feet where you have the advantage, and I would think Goldstein does, even though Avila has scored the only 2 takedowns of this match.
Stalemate there. And the official calls a timeout. Goldstein they've wanted an injury time. They're attending to him over there. Matt Goldstein trails here by 1 point midway through the third period.
Goldstein's had some problems with bloody noses throughout this tournament. He did break his nose, I understand. So
yeah, that doesn't seem, I don't see any bleeding here, so they're back. A minute 30 to go here. Matt Goldstein in the red, trails by a point against Rafael Avila. Goldstein from Conant and Hoffman Estates. Avila from Belvedere. And again, they go off the mat. Time now starting to become a factor. 1:17 to go, third period. Matt Goldstein looking for his second straight state championship.
Come up, Jin, go again.
Won at 103 last year. Here he is at 112.
Come up, circle outside. Hit your reshot. Reshot.
1 minute to go.
Hit it. Carry, hit the carry. Hit the carry.
Rob, if you're Matt Goldstein, you worried yet?
Hit hard.
I don't think so, but now we've just seen a third stalling penalty against Avila. One more and he'd be disqualified from the match.
And it gives Goldstein the lead now at 6-5.
Avila just backed right off the edge, and Carnahan made the call instantly. He didn't hesitate.
It's not as though Avila hasn't been aggressive. He's got 2 takedowns here.
4 of Goldstein's points in this match have been for stalling. The other 2 have been on escapes.
Let's go, set it up, let's go.
And none on takedowns. 35 seconds to go. Matt Goldstein leading by a point. Rafael Avila now trying to make his move.
Very nice stuck under by Avila and the 2 points.
So Avila now with time ticking at 20 seconds is up by a point. Back they'll come to the center of the mat. Now if you're Matt Goldstein, you have to be concerned.
Well, I think it's unlikely that Avila will be able to ride him out for 18 seconds, especially with 4 points in stalling having been called on him, but you have to give him an awful lot of credit. He has been the one that has generated the offense.
Caution on a false start as we get the whistle from the official, Jim Carnahan.
That's been kind of an anomaly that Avila, who has scored the 3 takedowns in the match, has also been penalized now 4 times for stalling.
15 seconds. Avila trying for the upset here. Goldstein now with 10 seconds.
He's got to get up to his feet. Now he tries to roll. This is a very high-risk move.
3 seconds, doesn't get it. 1, it is over, and Rafael Avila has pulled off the upset. 1 happy buck. Seven to 6, the final. Well, I don't know if that's good strategy normally when you give your opponent 4 points on stalls, but it certainly worked for the 1995 AA champion at 112 pounds, Rafael Avila of Belvedere.
And I don't know if I've ever seen a match here or anyplace else where the wrestler who scored the only 3 takedowns in the match also was penalized 4 points for stalling.
We'll be back. At 112 pounds in Class A, Matt Long over Todd Combs, the youngster from Yorkville, over the sophomore from Coal City, a 6-5 decision. Again, an upset, Rob.
We just watched Avila upset Goldstein in AA. This also an upset. Combs has been rated #1 all year, Long with 10 losses coming in, but he's the state champ.
Matt Long, the junior from Yorkville, coached by his dad. There he is, an emotional and happy winner. Let's pick up the action next at 119 pounds, and we're coming up here to the Class A with Jamie McCarty, who's got that claw from Byron on his back as part of his singlet, against Tom LeCure from Plano. LeCure, the defending champ at 103. McCarty finished 4th at 112 last year. And again, here is a defending champion. So far we've seen 1 not repeat. And LeCure, 37-2 on the year. Seeing if he can break that jinx right now.
You know, it's funny. All you have to do to be a state champion in Illinois, as you see LeCure with the first offense of the match, almost got back points off it.
2 points on the takedown.
All you have to do to be a state champion in Class A is win 3 matches, maybe 4 matches if you didn't win the sectional. It really sounds simple. But as we've seen, we've already had 1 champion not repeat. Tom LeCure's off to a good start, and we'll just have to see what happens.
Now McCarty trying to reverse. As the first period ends, Sam Samorian, the official, says no points on that particular action. And it's 2-0. for LeCure as you look at Jamie McCarty, who gets the choice and defers. So LeCure says, I want down.
Wrestlers are better than ever at getting off the bottom these days, and for a lot of them it's an easy point. Although sometimes they work so hard to get that point that they use up a lot of stamina that they might otherwise use to work their offense.
Both these wrestlers came out of their school's respective sectionals. McCarty from Byron, LeCure from Plano. And a dangerous hold called over there by Sam Samorian. Break it. I like those big claw prints there.
Very stylish uniforms, and we could very easily see Byron when we get to the team state tournament. Very good chance of it. And so we'd get to see 13 wrestlers wearing that claw. To be kind of interesting. Now LeCure gets up to his feet, and he has the escape. They're back to neutral.
Off the mat. Back they'll come. 1:11 left to go in the second period. Tom LeCure, the defending state champion, with a 3-0 lead here over Jamie McCarty from Byron.
And LeCure with the headlock, he's going to get more points. 2 and looks like 3 more.
Up to 5 now LeCure.
Now McCarty with the roll through, and he gets a reversal.
2 points from McCarty. 45 seconds to go second period. It is an 8-2 lead you see for LeCure. A lot of action in this match.
Sometimes when you let your center of gravity get a little bit too high on that headlock, as LeCure showed, he got his hips let his hips get a little too high, and McCarty was able to roll him through for the reversal. What you want to do is you keep your center of gravity low, and that way the wrestler on the bottom can't reverse you. And same thing happened to McCarty, and LeCure gets the reversal.
On the reverse there, it's 10-2. Both wrestlers are juniors.
Well, Byron, of course, a team we may well see in the duels next week. Plano, the team LeCure wrestles for, is a team we may well see in the duels next year. Some great young talent at Plano, and LeCure's another guy coming back.
Meanwhile, next match we're going to see Jamie McCarty's twin brother Josh, who also made it to the state finals. 2 more points for LeCure, who now has dominated through 2 periods. Leads by 10 points, of course. If your lead extends to 15, it's a technical fall and the match is over.
Nice tilt there by LeCure to score 2 points, and he's looking for that tilt again.
LeCure holding on now. Again, doesn't want to get called for stalling, but with a 10-point lead, he's got 1:30. Meanwhile, getting to his feet, McCarty, he'll get a point. Still well behind at 12-3.
This is a position LeCure should love to be in. He's a very good upper body wrestler. We've already seen him toss McCarty for 5 points one time. And if I were McCarty, I'd certainly want to get out of this position.
Minute 4 to go. LeCure in purple with a 9-point lead here, looking for his 2nd straight state title.
McCarty tried to throw and slipped past the head, and LeCure just came out behind for the 2 points. And he's really in command now.
14-3. LeCure working McCarty, 35 seconds to go.
Two more points, another tilt, and LeCure would get a technical fall out of this. Quite a way to end the season.
13-6, 13-point lead, 20 seconds to go. Now the issue is, will he get a technical fall?
No, he won't,
No.
because McCarty just got the reversal, but probably too little too late.
So LeCure, with 12 seconds to go, will be the winner. (17-5). They tick down the final seconds, and Tom LeCure from Plano adds a second state title to his trophy case, this one at 119 pounds. Tom LeCure is your winner over Jamie McCarty. Meanwhile, at 119 pounds on the AA side, Dave Douglas of Thornridge High in Dalton taking on John Alamia of DeKalb and pinning Alamia at 435. Here's how it happened.
It was a close match to this point. Douglas had a 7-3 lead, gets the standing cradle, and he'll finish Alamia right here.
The pin at 435 coming up, right over there. And Dave Douglas, who won the Andrews Sectional, takes the measure of John Alamia and wins the championship. Douglas, the sophomore from Thornridge High in Dalton. Now we move to the 125-pounders, and we told you about Jamie McCarty, who just lost to Tom LeCure at 119. Here is twin brother Josh, again in that familiar, or getting to be a familiar paw, from Byron. 31-7 on the year, and his opponent from Plano, Sandro Nunez. Nunez, a freshman, Josh McCarty, a junior. So the Byron-Plano competition continues here through two weight classes. No score as we go into the final 45 seconds of period number one. Nunez, back to you. Josh McCarty trying to shoot in, and Nunez holding him off. Scoreless here so far.
Quite an achievement by Josh McCarty to get this far. Not a bad weight class, 125 in Class A. Of course, when you're a twin, you're about the same size, but you can't be in the same weight class, so one of you has to go to a higher one. And
I guess they must have pretty good workouts together.
Pretty good workouts, and obviously being a twin of the 19-pounder, he's going to be a little bit small for the 125-pound weight class. So you got to make a little bit of an adjustment.
No score after one period here in Class A. Switching over now to AA, as we'll take a look to the right. There's the AA mat, and we're just about set to finish off period number one between John Ivers of Providence, a senior. There is Ivers, and in the blue, Rob Anderson, another senior from Belvedere, another buck. Ivers leading 3-2. Ivers 45-7 on the year, as they finish the first period, still with the 3-2 score in favor of John Ivers.
Ivers, a guy I've seen a couple of times in the last month, has not looked particularly good, but boy, has he put it together this week. Beat Tommy Lee, who was a champ 2 years ago from Carl Sandburg in the second round. He'd never beaten Lee before, and he's come all the way here to the finals. And Rob Anderson has also put it together and trying to duplicate what his teammate Rafael Avila did, is score an upset in the finals.
Anderson certainly pulled an upset in the semis over Elliot Malik of Mount Carmel. Malik, one of the many stellar lights on that team, came over from Bloom Trail and was thought to be a challenger for the finals. Anderson 36-3 on the year, qualified 3 times for state. That is he on the right. Again, trying for the legs of John Ivers. Anderson right now with a 4-2 lead. And no points awarded there. Gary Thacker, the coach of Belvedere, very animated. Keith Healy, coach over at Providence. 1 minute to go, period number 2.
These two guys have very similar styles. Neither of them really powerful. They're both rely on slickness and technique. You can see they're almost identical body builds. And Anderson trying to spin through. He's got that standing cradle, and it's going to be 2 points and maybe more. And he's got Iverson some trouble here. He just has to be sure he doesn't pin himself with this hold.
25 seconds to go, period number 2, a 6-2 lead. Greg Cozy is the official there. Says he doesn't have those points yet, and now Ivers trying to fight back.
Ivers has to break the hands of Anderson and try and get out and do something. You don't want to give up 5 points at once in a state tournament. That's a prescription for disaster.
Nothing happening here as the period ends, and they award 3 points to Rob Anderson, and the senior from Belvedere with a commanding 7-point lead going into the final 2 minutes. Let's take a look at some of the action.
Anderson spun around, got the cradle hold, and he just steps over, and he's got Ivers in trouble. And you can see Anderson has one shoulder down of his own, and almost the other one. He had to be sure he didn't pin himself trying to pin Ivers.
Back to continuation action. 9-2 the score for Rob Anderson on the right. John Ivers wrestled a very tough schedule this year. I guess they had a tournament out in Ohio where they had some of the top wrestlers in the Midwest, if not in the nation. Ivers lost 3 matches there, but has had a good year to that point. A minute 20 to go, still the 7-point lead for Anderson, and Ivers trying to mount some kind of offense. One minute to go here in period number 3 on Double-A. Let's swing over back to Single-A, where Josh McCarty has a 2-1 lead right now. That score is incorrect. 30 seconds to go, and McCarty in black trying to get half of a twin championship here over Sandro Nunez of Plano.
Nunez obviously felt more comfortable on the mat. He was trying to turn him, and then now he's let him go. He needs a takedown to tie it.
And he's got 15 seconds to do it. Josh McCarty, a junior. Nunez, a freshman. 5 seconds. McCarty got to hold on for 2 more. And he gets him. Josh McCarty, a 3-1 victory in a state championship at 125 pounds. So not a bad haul for the McCarty family. A 2nd place and a championship. Meanwhile, at Double-A, 4 seconds to go, 11-2 as Anderson looks at the clock and says, I got it. Rob Anderson with an 11-2 decision and a Double-A championship at 125. Anderson from Belvedere over John Ivers of Providence.
Well, the first 57 years of the state tournament, Belvedere had 1 state champ. In the first 4 matches tonight, they have 2. That's amazing.
There's your winner, Rob Anderson of Belvedere, 125 pounds, Class AA 1995 state titleist. We'll have more after this. Back on the Double-A mat at 130 pounds, TJ Slay in black from Granite City, Blake Hare from Morton in the scarlet. We are scoreless with 30 seconds to go here in period number 1. Blake Hare 6th in 125 a year ago, a 4-time state qualifier, came out of the Olympia sectional. TJ Slay, also a senior, has been here 3 times. 42-0, a perfect record for 19 and 95.
Not very often that you see 2 downstaters meeting for a title in Class AA, but this has been a very much anticipated final between 2 undefeated wrestlers who have been at the top of the rankings for quite a while. And I'm glad to see them both get to the finals because they've worked hard, they've put in their dues for 4 years, and I think they deserve it.
Hare 29-0, Slay 42-0. And through a period, we are scoreless. Slay will be on the bottom. Neither wrestler can appear to be doing much right now. Again,
Slay has the stand up.
Just as we say that.
Can't quite get out of it. Hare still has the leg. Now potentially dangerous situation on the knee. Slay, the leader of a Granite City team that has had one of the best years in the history of the school and could be figure very prominently in the dual competition.
Slay trying to break the hands. 1:20 to go. Granite City, of course, a soccer powerhouse, as they have won, I believe it's 13 state championships in boys soccer. Still no scoring here. 1:05 to go, second period. You see the scoreboard behind you.
And Granite City has always been a very strong power in wrestling. They did win a state title, or tied for a state title, back in the 60s.
You see some blood on Slay's left arm. Right. It came from the nose of Blake Hare. So we'll have a injury time here as we get that fixed up.
This year, Granite City is more than just a power in Southern Illinois. They're a power statewide.
There's Slay. Now, while we're waiting for this match to resume, let's go over to the Class A 130-pounders. And you're watching Adam Blue of Clinton High against Chet Crowley of Muhammad Seymour.
Crowley trying to shake a monkey off his back here. He's a 2-time state runner-up. Been ranked #1 all year, and here he is in the finals against a wrestler who he's really never had any trouble with before. He got rid of another monkey off his back in the semifinals when he beat Mike Bondi of St. Edward. Bondi had beaten him in the state titles their freshman year.
Crowley on the right in the blue, and Blue is in the maroon. Got that? And Crowley with the 1-0 lead. 1:50. Check it. 50 seconds left to go in period #2.
Crowley's been wrestling a little tight in this match. I think he knows what's on the line, and he's done everything but win a state title in his career, and I think he wants to make sure that he gets out of that whatever way he can this time.
Could have been a problem there as the wrestlers went off the mat and almost onto the basketball floor. 35 seconds to go.
Crowley in with the single and gave it up. He has been a little tentative. Now he's trying to spin behind and can't finish that either. He's had some opportunities in this period, but he really hasn't been able to finish.
Holding a 1-point lead as Blue tries to go for the legs. 10 seconds to go, second period. And now Blue gets a reverse. And at the end of 4 minutes, Adam Blue leading 2-1 as you look at Chet Crowley. Back over on the AA mat, TJ Slay and Blake Hare have resumed. 10 seconds left to go in period #2, and Hare with a 1-0 lead. check it. It's Slay with the lead at 1-0.
Slay did get the escape eventually in the second period, and now Hare will go to the bottom.
Starting period number 3. It's TJ Slay from the Granite City Warriors. Downstate near St. Louis. Off the mat, no points. 1-0. Slay with the lead. Let's go back over to Class A, where Adam Blue is holding on to a 3-1 lead here over the second place finisher a couple of years ago, Chet Crowley.
Crowley doesn't want to have a third straight second place finish, but he has got to get some offense going here. He gave up a very damaging takedown right at the end of the second period, where he really gave up his position.
That's Crowley on the left, second at 119 a year ago. 2 years ago, second at 103.
And he's trailing a wrestler, Adam Blue, who really has not given him much trouble in the past, and now he's trying to spin behind and get that takedown.
There goes Crowley, 55 seconds to go.
He's behind the arms.
But he doesn't have it yet. 45 seconds. Crowley still trails by 2.
He's got to get behind him. He has cleared the arms, but he's got to get behind him.
And Blue uses that left leg to hold off for now. 30 seconds. Blue still with the lead. The officials letting him go. And now they award 2 points to Chet Crowley. I don't know.
I think it was it might have been 2 points some time ago, but now Blue now trying to spin back. And there it is.
Crowley's
no,
not yet.
Doesn't have the exposure yet.
5 seconds, 3. We're tied. He's looking at points. End of match. They give him the 2 points, and Crowley does pull it out.
An amazing comeback. Blue tried a side roll to get out of it and went right to his own back, and that gave Crowley the 2 points he needed for the state title.
Chet Crowley, after 2 second place finishes, has got a state championship at 130. A junior from Muhammad Seymour, you know he's going to be back. Chet Crowley is your winner, Class A at 130 pounds. Back on the AA mat, TJ Slay holding to a 1-point lead, 10 seconds to go in the match. Slay with his back to you. Blake Hare trying to either escape, reverse, or do something with 2 seconds to go. He cannot, or can he? Yes, they give Blake Hare the point. 1 second to go, we're tied at 3.
This is something we see an awful lot of in the state tournament series. Of course, we also see a lot of wrestlers that have 1-point leads late in the match, trying to protect it that way.
And immediately we have overtime. Tied at 3. TJ Slay on your left, Hare on your right. They start from the neutral position. Again, it's a 2-minute maximum on the overtime period, but it is sudden death in terms of whoever scores first wins the state championship.
Slay has scored the only takedown of the match, and he did it right off a whistle in the third period.
Just about. Now they are off the mat. 31 seconds gone in the overtime. Good look at Blake Hare. Running to the nose. Apparently there's more blood there. It had been a problem earlier. It had to be checked. They had to run the injury clock. They're doing it now.
We're looking at both wrestlers right now. Slay apparently a problem with his left knee or his ankle. He's the one that's actually taking the injury time, even though they're also looking at Hare for the nosebleed.
You see they're flexing his left knee. And he looks like he's in quite a bit of pain. Well, while we're waiting, let's go to the end of regulation and see how Blake Hare tied things up with seconds to go. Literally a second to go.
We're going to see a point awarded to Hare for stalling here. Trying to hold him off as long as he can. Granite City thinks they've got this match won, but with 1 second to go, a point for stalling awarded to Hare.
Hare in the red. Slay in the black. Again, any point will win it. Both wrestlers have qualified often, but neither has placed. .45 seconds to go in the overtime.
This is looking more and more like a match that might go to the 30-second tiebreaker. And I don't think either of these guys would like it to go down to the flip of a coin to determine who wins.
The 30-second tiebreaker is a very controversial rule put in. You have 30 seconds. One wrestler is up, one is down.
Quite a few matches in this state tournament have ended just that way. There's been a lot. They've created a lot of talk every time.
If the wrestler on top can ride him out, he wins. If the wrestler underneath can escape, he wins. Not a great way to decide things in this reporter's opinion, Rob, but I don't know. It's how the coaches taken to it. Of course, we're not there yet. We're about 5 seconds away, so we may find out firsthand.
I think the feeling on it is mixed. I think a lot of coaches would simply like to see the wrestlers ended on their feet regardless. And here,
almost a reversal, but no.
Slay wins the toss. He's going to take down. And
who's got the harder job here?
Definitely Hare has the harder job. In high school, 80% or more of the time, the wrestler that wins and takes down is the one that wins the match.
Almost an escape right off the whistle. And a potentially dangerous hold call. And Blake Hare certainly got a break right there because Slay,
he was almost out.
Yeah.
They're trying to hold on. Slay trying to get away. He wants to get that leg away, and Hare's holding on for dear life.
Once again, they'll take it back. 13 seconds to go. Both coaches unhappy. Again, if Hare can ride him out, he'll win. If Slay can escape, he'll win. Now we got a stall call?
A stalling call against Hare, and that does it. We've seen some other matches ended just that way. Change in interpretation in the rule book is what caused this.
You got to explain this, Rob, because these two wrestlers have gone, 8 minutes and 27 seconds, and to get called for a stall is something that the average fan just wouldn't understand.
Well, this rule has been in the books for about 2 or 3 years, and there's always been kind of an unwritten rule that the man on top in this situation can do just about whatever he needs to do to keep the man down. Well, the rule book interpretation was changed this year. If the official recognizes stalling on the top, he can call it, and they have not been afraid to do it in this tournament, even here in the state tournament match.
Well, let's take a look at it again, and Rob, you call it here because there's a very disappointed Blake Hare.
See, all the man on top in the overtime has to do is hold him down, and that's all that the man on the top tried to do. It's not a great rule, it's not a great interpretation, but that's the way it is in the rule book.
Well, it works for TJ Slay, the 130-pound champion in AA. More coming up. Let's move to the 135-pounders in Class AA. A battle of unbeatens here. Tony Davis of Chicago Mount Carmel. He's on your right. On your left, Reggie Wright of Proviso East. Rob, you call Reggie Wright probably the best wrestler never to win a match at state, at least until this year. He finally did win a couple.
Reggie Wright made up for lost time in a hurry this year. He really was not tested on his way to the finals. And really the story of this state tournament has been some of the outstanding juniors that we have in Illinois this year. Both of these two guys are a major reason that Illinois has one of the top junior classes in the country this year.
Davis at 31-0, won at 125 pounds last year. Wright 43-0, third in the junior nationals, was one of those cadet champions, the 15-16-year-olds. And is a Greco-Roman wrestler as well, Ron.
Reggie likes to throw, but he's a very good scholastic style wrestler too. You don't see him do an awful lot of that in his matches in this style, but if the opportunity presents itself, he won't shy away from it.
Scoreless here with 35 seconds to go in the first period.
This is one of the things about Reggie Wright. He is so quick, but Davis is so strong.
25!
Right with that spin behind, really had a great opportunity, and Davis spun right out of it and faced him and got out of trouble.
Davis facing you now, scoreless with 15 seconds to go, first period.
This is going to be one of those matches that even if there are not a lot of points scored, it's going to be a very exciting match between two outstanding kids with a world of skills.
Certainly we know the lot of talent that is Mount Carmel. End of the first period, scoreless. And Reggie Wright gets the choice. He defers, so Tony Davis will take down.
Be interesting to see if Reggie tries to ride him here. I don't know if he's going to. He will at least give it a shot.
Mount Carmel putting 3 wrestlers into the finals. We told you that appeal is still pending. Mount Carmel went to court to overturn an IHSA ruling that would disqualify them from the team competition. That does not affect tonight, regardless of what the courts do. But they'll be in court on Tuesday to see if Mount Carmel can compete in the team championship to defend the title it's won the last 3 years. And all 3 of those years, Tony Davis has been a big part of it. Quick flip over.
But no change in control yet. Wright still on top as they bring it back to the center.
Dan Fulcher, the lead official. Greg Negocian, the other referee. You see no score. We've come through the first period. A minute 18 left here in the second.
Some really good work on the top by Reggie Wright. One time Davis tried the headlock and a step over, and Reggie wouldn't have any of it. Reggie's still working hard on top, looking for a cradle maybe here now. Davis trying to come out the back door, and this looks like a stalemate situation here.
Dan Fulcher calls it such. They will break. 54 seconds to go. Still no score. Well, we were talking to a couple of the fans here, and they were from Proviso. They were eagerly looking forward to this one. And we hear them in the back. They're loving this. They're yelling, "Go, Reggie, go!"
And I can see why. As now looked like Davis is going to take some injury time.
Both are juniors. There's Reggie Wright.
I think Reggie Wright's strategy is going to be, if he can get Tony Davis to the third period and still be in good shape, and he's in pretty good shape right now, I think he's going to try and depend on whatever edge he's got in conditioning to win this match.
Davis still looks to be one of his ankles. It's his right ankle. he appears set to go. So we'll resume with 54 seconds in the second period. No score yet. There's a good look at Reggie Wright. And somebody jumped the gun.
Here we go. Come on, buddy.
Not sure why that was called on Reggie. He must have flinched just before the whistle because it looked like Davis took off too.
Now another whistle. Negosian was telling Dan Fulcher what he sees there, and we'll try it again.
One thing that Reggie Wright is doing here is he's stopping Davis's first move, but now Davis is standing up. Reggie Wright needs to bring him back down to the mat. He's looking at a possible stall call here. Still no change in control.
34 seconds to go.
Davis did a pretty good job of getting the stand-up going that time, but he's not been as active on the bottom as he was earlier in the period. Reggie is really breaking him down here. Davis again with the stand-up.
Wright has control still. Davis trying to break free. Got to get that leg. Five seconds to go here in the second period, and we do get a point awarded.
And Bill Cartwright is calling time. He wants to talk about this right now.
Now this Cartwright he saw running across the mat. They gave Tony Davis a point, and I don't know why.
Difficult. Well, it was difficult to see the loss of control there, and now an unsportsmanlike conduct call against Bill Cartwright.
I mean, he just took off from that top left corner and ran across the mat. And Davis has that 1 point lead after 2 periods.
Now it'll be interesting to see if Tony Davis can ride Reggie Wright out. I don't know if he'll be able to. Reggie is out right away.
Tied at 1.
So it looks like we're going to finish this match on our feet. And now
the call on a dangerous hold.
Illegal head scissors against Davis. It's a penalty point for Reggie Wright.
You just can't hook that leg, hook those legs around the opponent's head. So Wright again with a 1 point advantage. 1:35 to go. And now 2 points awarded to Tony Davis on the reversal.
That's not a good shot to take when you've just gotten the lead. You need to set it up a little better than that. Wright's looking for a reversal here. I think he just needs to.
And once again, a dangerous hold called.
I think he just needs to worry about getting an escape, getting back to his feet and getting a fresh start. There are a lot worse things than a 3-3 match. And that's what Reggie needs to work on, is getting an escape, as you see Davis again taking injury time.
Reggie Wright down a point. Well, you hear the crowd chanting. It's the Proviso East bunch. They made the trip. Let's go back and show you some of the previous action.
This was not a good shot for Reggie Wright to take. He didn't set up. He just came in right off the whistle and gave Davis a chance to spin around behind him and get the takedown. Kyle, look, a bad mistake by Wright in this situation. Now he just needs to concentrate on getting up, getting an escape, and starting again from a 3-3 match.
1:21 left to go in regulation here. 3-2, Tony Davis. As we'll come back to action ready to resume. There's Reggie Wright. Bottom position. Davis with the 1-point lead.
Well, now Davis has the 1-point lead. It's going to be interesting to see whether he can get any riding time of his own in against Wright.
Right shoulders were dangerously close right there now.
Now Reggie with the stand-up.
Still 3-2 for Davis, under a minute to go.
This has been one heck of a match, even with only 5 points scored. Now Wright looking for...
Trying to turn him.
He's got to get that leg out to erase the control of Davis. And now he has the escape.
We're tied at 3, 35 seconds to go. Tony Davis, the defending champ, at 125. Reggie Wright. And hold the phone again. More injury time.
More injury time for Tony Davis. And this is exactly what Reggie Wright wants to see, is now we have a stall warning against Davis for not getting immediately back to the center of the circle.
There's Davis now with 2 points. 20 seconds to go and 2 big points for Tony Davis right now, trying to escape.
Well, that's something that Reggie Wright didn't have to do. He's given up 2 takedowns to Davis on shots he did not properly set up.
Under 10 seconds. And now Reggie Wright trying to reverse. He gets it.
He's got it.
We're tied. And overtime again. Wow. Talk about every second being precious. Reggie Wright used them all. And Tony Davis once again is down. Well, this is becoming the norm rather than the exception. Last second points, Rob.
Well, it's amazing that Reggie Wright giving up takedowns on 2 bad shots is still in this match, but watch his quickness. He's going to break the hand control of Tony Davis. He's going to spin around. He gets his hips out. That's just lightning quickness.
With a little help from the videotape engineer right there.
Not very much help. He's that quick almost. And he just holds him out there. Now he's going to have to set up his shots better in the overtime in order to come out on top.
Davis trying to defend the state championship. We're in overtime. Reggie Wright trying to win his first. Both are juniors.
Now he's trying for a duck under, and he's got it. Not yet, does it?
Not yet.
Now he needs to spin behind.
He's almost there. And there it is. Reggie Wright is your winner. Seven to 5 in overtime. And what a Pekin Valley match Reggie Wright had.
Reggie Wright came back from the dead in the 3rd period, and he set up a takedown shot that time. A beautiful duck under. Didn't look like he was going to finish it there for a while, but he stayed with it. And he's the state champion. Never won a match before this year in the state tournament, but now he's the state champion.
Undefeated, finishes the season 44-0, and here's how we did it.
He's going to try a duck under here. Watch the quickness. He doesn't get it that time. Now he reshoots, and he has Davis going over the wrong direction. Nice scramble by Davis to get out, but Reggie just brings his hips back and over Davis and gets the takedown. Beautiful finish that time.
More coming up right after this. We'll take a break. Updating the action in Class A, 135 pounds. Coal City's Brian Van Dyne, the senior, with a 9-2 decision over TJ Watts of Midwest Central. Brian Van Dyne, a qualifier a year ago, is a champion for 1995. And there he is, Brian Van Dyne from Coal City. Let's move next to the Class A on your left, the 140-pound match. Once again, a defending champion. Well, a 2-time defending champion, Tyler Hurry. He's in black. from Port Byron, Riverdale. Heavily favored against Matt Bagley of Plano. Bagley only lost once this season in 39 matches, and that loss, Rob, was to Tyler Hurry.
And that match wasn't very close. It was a technical fall for Tyler Hurry, and here he is looking for back points, and he's going to get them. Tyler Hurry, clearly the best wrestler in Class A. He committed to the University of Illinois during the early signing period, so he's going to be doing his college wrestling right here at Champaign.
And Hurry has pinned his opponents in a hurry so far in this tournament. 43 seconds in the quarters, 1:11 in the semis. Now he hasn't been given the back points yet, but he's ahead 2-0.
There it is.
And there it is. 38 seconds left in period number 1. So doing the math, what's that, 1:22, huh?
3 matches in the state tournament, 3 first period pins for Tyler Hurry, and if that's not an outstanding wrestler performance, I don't know what is.
First at 130 and 93, first at 135 and 94, here in 95. He is first again, finishing up his career with a championship at 140 pounds. Coach Jim Boyd, Tyler Hurry, no question about it. He is a young man who's got some time, but he is in a hurry. We'll show it to you again. Here's the pin again. In period number 1, he's got Matt Bagley.
The double arm bar, which can hurt, and it can also get you a pin, as it did for Tyler Hurry right there.
So moving on to Double-A as we zoom right into another Mount Carmel wrestler, Joe Opiola. He is a senior. There he is at the top of your picture. Right now he trails Matt Webster from Washington High School. There he is. Webster, a winner in the DeKalb sectional, undefeated, 35-0 on the year. Opiola 27-3, won the Andrews sectional, has qualified here 3 times.
Webster hoping to have found a Mount Carmel wrestler he can beat.
Yeah.
Last year he was in the state finals against T.J. Williams, only lost to T.J. by a point, a 7-6 match. Now he has another Mount Carmel wrestler in the finals here. He got the first takedown and he has a 2-1 lead.
Well, along the way, one of the more bizarre occurrences took place in this weight class as we got a 2-point takedown here for Webster. Webster with a 4-1 lead right here. They're talking about earlier in the tournament, Nate Patrick, one of the favorites, along with Dan Weber. Patrick and Weber went at it, and Weber was disqualified for biting. How carnivorous, Rob, but actually that was quite disputed. Weber maintained that Patrick was trying to get his fingers into his mouth.
I don't know if we'll ever know the real story there, but again, a new rule in the rule book says you don't have to prove that a bite was actually made. You just have to show teeth marks on a part of your body, and that'll result in a call. So
yeah, the officials never saw the bite, but saw the teeth marks on the finger of Nate Patrick and immediately disqualified Weber. Meanwhile, Opiola here trying to make a move. He trails by 3 points, 4-1.
He's got the reversal, it looks like.
2 points.
And back points too. No, he just had just back points. He started on top.
Opiola now within a point at 4-3. Joe's a senior. He's got a little brother who's a freshman on this team too.
Qualified for the state tournament. Lost in the first round, but certainly probably has better days ahead of him.
Potentially dangerous hold.
Webster committed to Illinois State during the early signing period, so he'll be doing his college wrestling down the road from here in Normal.
And we'll be there for the team championships. Among the preps, the question will be, will Opiola and the rest of the caravan be there?
Open question right now.
Yep.
Stay on the mat, stay on the mat, stay on the mat, stay on the mat.
That's Matt Webster. Trying to have Opiola make a wish on his ankle. 4-3, a 1-point lead for Webster. 50 seconds to go in period number 2. Coming up, the match after this will be T.J. Williams of Mount Carmel, trying for his 3rd straight state championship. And we get a stall warning here.
Stall warning against Opiola. He spent a lot of time in the last 30 to 40 seconds hanging on Webster's ankle and not working up, and that'll get you a stall call every time.
35 seconds to go. Still a 1-point match with Webster.
Webster has stood up and tried to get out this entire period. Opiola did get the back points early, but right now all he's doing really is hanging on, and now Webster looking maybe like he can get the reversal. He can get his leg out.
Final seconds of period number 2. Buzzer sounds. Opiola and Webster, with Matt Webster leading by a point. There he is.
No points given. Sure looked like Webster was very, very close to at least a loss of control situation. Couldn't quite do it before the buzzer.
Webster, a 1-point winner in the semifinal over Nate Patrick of Naperville, who, as we told you, had defeated Dan Weber on that disqualification. Opiola defeated Mike Ray handily 8-2 from Gurney Warren in the semifinal.
Now Webster lets Opiola go on the whistle. He's had 2 takedowns in this match, so this really makes a lot of sense. He obviously feels a lot more comfortable on his feet.
Ties the match at 4. 1:40 to go in regulation. Now Webster gets 2 points.
He got Opiola down to his stomach there, and he was able to spin behind for the takedown. I think if Webster can keep the match in that sort of arena on the feet, he's going to come out on top here.
1:15 to go in this 140-pound Class AA match. And we get a point. Given to Webster.
That was a double stall call by Rennie Garcielis, the lead official. And since Opiola had a stall warning before, that results in a point for Webster, and now Webster's going to let him go. Opiola hasn't shown he's been able to take Webster down, and I think Webster likes being in that situation.
7-5, 2-point lead for Matt Webster, and 1 minute, 1 second to go in regulation here in this match.
Webster trying to become the first state champion in the history of Washington High School, and there's another takedown.
Now Opiola tries to roll over.
Looking for a headlock.
Yeah.
Nothing yet.
Now Opiola.
He has turned him over.
Opiola's going to get some points here and maybe more.
No loss of control yet. If Webster gets his head out, it will definitely be no loss of control.
And he does. So 30 seconds to go, and Opiola took his best shot and came up short. Now Webster will let him go. Makes the score 9-6. 15 seconds left.
And Webster in again on another shot. This is clearly where he has the advantage. I don't know why he tried to turn Opiola and almost cost him.
3-point lead, 1 second to go. That will do it. Matt Webster. Coach Tom celebrates along with his wrestler. A 9-6 victory in the state championship for Matt Webster of Washington High School. Matt Webster's your winner right there. We'll take a break and come back to see T.J. Williams try for 3. The 145-pounders are having at it. We'll go to the Class AA match. T.J. Williams of Chicago Mount Carmel against Sean Lovelace of Lake Park. And there is TJ following in the footsteps of his brother Joe, who won 4 straight titles. TJ's already got a couple. He is a junior. He won at 135 2 years ago, at 140 last year. He's 36-0 this year, and he's looking for number 3. For Sean Lovelace, it's the first time he's qualified for state. He is a senior, 43-2 on the year. Came out at the Conant sectional where he finished 3rd. Knocked off Joe Kearns in the semifinal handle. Kearns from Grays Lake. Right away you see TJ Williams with the takedown and a permitted escape, so it's 2-1 for TJ.
And a little bit of the same style that we saw Joe wrestle with. Joe Williams, the 4 years in this state tournament, likes to stay on the feet with the takedowns. Doesn't do much on the mat unless he needs the points.
TJ, combination of strength and quickness, and an awful lot of experience. 2 minutes gone here. 2 points awarded to TJ Williams. Ed Ludy is your official, lead official. Stalemate him, so
you're down, Sean. You're down.
look over at Todd Raymond, who's the coach at Lake Park High. Good close-up of TJ. We've seen a lot of that the last couple of years, that's for sure.
Probably not the last of them. If TJ wins tonight, as he probably should, that'll be 9 titles for the Williams family. And a 4th next year would make it 10, which would be a record for a family here in Illinois by quite a large margin.
Oh, we almost had twins win titles. I don't think that's ever happened, has it?
It's happened once or twice,
Is
but
that
not
right?
recently.
In the same meet, huh?
Build up, head up, control the hand.
That is why you are the fount of wrestling knowledge. TJ Williams, as we have the last 20 seconds here. Sean Lovelace, there he is in the blue. TJ in the Mount Carmel colors in brown, and gold and white. Has a 4-1 lead with 16 ticks left on the first period clock.
Lovelace has really had an outstanding year, and for him it was just a case of getting here to the state tournament, since although he's been a 4-year varsity starter and had some pretty good records in the past, he's never been here to Assembly Hall, and he's really done a fine job getting here to the finals.
No points at the end of the first period, so TJ Williams with the 4-1 lead.
Hey, let's break. Let's break. Come on.
Sean Lovelace's dad, Norm Lovelace, is the head wrestling coach at Harper Junior College, which is one of the top programs in the National Junior College ranks. That could be one of the places Sean's looking at to continue his wrestling.
May have some pull there too. And the reverse. TJ now with a 5-point lead. Has not had a tough time in the semifinals. Neither did Lovelace. Lovelace with that 13-1 win in the semis over Joe Kearns of Grays Lake, and TJ over Claudio Torres of East Aurora, 14-5.
Additional point there for TJ Williams for Lovelace just running off the mat.
Get an injury call here. Something. TJ's finger.
Might be blood. No, they have started the injury clock.
And just as quickly they'll stop it because TJ cinched the net. He leads by 6. There's the signal. He intends to permit the escape.
Motion! On his head! You go! Motion! Motion! Move! Move!
end up in the arms of the official, Ed Luby. Todd Raymond urging on his wrestler.
Lovelace looking for the duck under there and
Didn't get it.
just too much strength and quickness.
Some more points.
To finish it against TJ Williams. He would have finished that duck under against most of the other wrestlers in the tournament.
57 seconds to go, second period, a 7-point lead for TJ. No technical falls yet tonight. We've had a couple of quick pins.
Just a technical fall actually right at the buzzer for Tom LaCure of Plano, which actually pretty much comes out to a full match because it took the full match to get it.
But if you want to be technical, you're right. That was a technical fall.
He did win by 16, and so there's just a snap down and spin behind by TJ Williams, putting on a clinic.
He leads by 8.
Go left, John, go left. Go left. Feel that hand up. Feel that hand up.
15 seconds to go. Five seconds to go. And 11-3 with 4 minutes gone. Let's swing over to the Class A match, which is a lot tighter, between Matt Niebuhr of University High in Normal and Luke Burton. That's Burton in the maroon. And Burton leads it by 1 point, 6-5, as we are a minute 15 left in the third period. Burton from Monmouth, 32-1, first time in the tournament. Niebuhr qualified the last 2 years, but has not placed. Came out of the Muhammad Seymour Regional, where he finished second, the sectional rather. And Burton won the Byron. We're tied now at 6 with 1 minute to go.
Luke Burton's kind of a natural, I guess you'd say.
He also scored what I guess could be construed as an upset over Pete Cleary of El Paso.
Stall warning here against Niebuhr.
Niebuhr in the gold, Burton in the maroon. And another point given to Niebuhr.
Niebuhr scored off Burton's shot there. Burton just shot straight in, and Niebuhr was able to throw him to the side for the 2 points.
30 seconds to go. Niebuhr by 2 points. He is on top. Burton on the bottom. "15 seconds. 2 points as Burton trying to make a move here in the final 10 seconds. That action is whistled dead. Okay, moment of truth right here for Luke Burton, who will be on the bottom. Matt Niebuhr trying to hold on. Riding this one out. 2 seconds, 1 second, and yes, Matt Niebuhr, an 8-6 win. He's qualified twice, now he's got a state championship. Matt Niebuhr from Normal University High. His coach, Kurt Christensen, he's the champion in Class A 145. Over and back, or let's go over to the AA match, where with 22 seconds to go, TJ Williams with the commanding lead in the quest for his 3rd straight championship. Sean Lovelace in the blue. Williams.
Finish hard! Finish hard!
Pretty routine win for him.
We've seen Williams do this a lot of times this year. Take him down, let him up, and there's another takedown. I don't think he'll let him up this time. I think he'll just ride him out with only 5 seconds left.
That's it. 17-6 for TJ Williams against a game but outclassed Sean Lovelace. There's TJ. 3 years, 3 championships. That's batting 1,000 in any sport. At 135, 140, and this year at 145. Congratulations to Mount Carmel's TJ Williams. Todd Raymond of Lake Park. The coach tried to give his wrestler as much encouragement as he could. But it wasn't enough. More coming up. Stay with us. The broadcast rights to this program have been granted to Sports Channel by the Illinois High School Association. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of this event without written consent of the IHSA and Sports Channel is prohibited. There's what they're going for. The medals, the memories, and here's the action at a packed Assembly Hall. I'm Mike Lederman along with Rob Sherrill, Rick Godwin, our Sports Channel crew. We hope you're enjoying this one as we take a look at Titus Taylor of Cahokia, a senior, against Ruben Saldana of Waubonsee Valley and Aurora. No score. We've gone through the first 2 minutes.
Saldana out right away, but Taylor with a double-leg shot had him up in the air and couldn't finish it. Nice hip pop by Saldana when they hit the mat to get out of trouble.
Quick look at it again as you look at Titus Taylor coming back. Saldana.
Nice shot. A double here by Taylor. A little bit out of control on the finish, though. Now Taylor spins behind, trying to keep him on the mat. Hasn't given 2 yet. And yes, now he does.
So he picks up the 2 points. Titus Taylor now with a 2-1 lead with 1:18 to go, second period. 152-pounders, Class AA. Taylor 39-1 on the year. 2-time state qualifier. Saldana 4th at 152 last year and has qualified every year. He's a senior.
If you want to watch a good basic stand-up escape, just watch Ruben Saldana. Just stood up, broke the hands, and spun out for the escape. That's the way you should do it every time.
2 points awarded to Titus Taylor.
But he's given up 2 takedowns.
Saldana kind of looking over at his coach saying, whoa, wait a minute. Tom Rossiano, another coaching veteran now.
Again, standing up,
Letting him
pushing
go.
the hands away.
4-3 now with Saldana picking up a point on that escape. One of the big issues in high school wrestling, not only in Illinois, but throughout the country, Rob, and you were right in the middle of this, was the national federations look to restructure the weight classes, put more on the top and bottom, the lightest weights and the heaviest weights, and take out several of the middle weights. And this did not sit well with a lot of the coaches. Without patting you too hard on the back, you were instrumental in getting that, if not rescinded, then forestalled here in Illinois.
Well, I think as we come to the end of the second period here,
4-3 for Taylor.
I think it's pretty obvious that the restructuring the way the National Federation did it this time was really not a very good idea. You have to put the weight classes where the bulk of your wrestler population was, and more than half of the population's between 125 and 160 pounds. And if you're going to take out two weight classes between 130 and 145, which is what the National Federation did, then what you're doing is taking away weights where there are a lot of kids, putting in weights where there aren't many kids, and now they're asking, why are there so many forfeits in dual meets? And
They're just not enough wrestlers to match
they're
those
just
weight
not
classes.
wrestlers to fill the weight classes that have been prescribed.
An
And I
interesting,
think
an interesting point you brought out, especially if you have more lower weight classes. You're going to be using a lot of freshmen and sophomores who aren't ready, and all your veteran wrestlers are going to be bunched up here as we get a lot of action on the mat.
nice little scramble there, no points.
No points.
And in the states where they are using the weight class, new weight classes this year, that's exactly what we've discovered, is there are so many freshmen at 100, freshmen and sophomores at 106. And I think nobody has anything against a freshman being on the varsity if he can really earn the spot. But to put a freshman there because that's all you can find to fill the weight really doesn't make an awful lot of sense. And I think some changes are going to come about when the National Federation has their rules meeting.
So in effect, that'll be countermanded.
I think in effect it will be. I don't know if what you'll see will be exactly what we're using here in Illinois and have continued to use. I kind of hope it is, but I think it will be closer to what has been used than what the National Federation prescribed last year.
You wonder what kind of thought process goes into it.
Yes, and that is, and I'm still wondering, quite frankly, what the thought process was. And well, I think the best you can hope for is that they will admit they made a mistake and that they tried to fix it and make things right again. And if they do that, a lot of people will be willing to forgive and forget. Now a stall warning against Titus Taylor.
And Titus Taylor leading 4-3. 27 seconds to go. Ruben Saldana trying to make something happen here. His coach in front of him, Tom Rossiano, tries to get in, and Taylor will have none of it. 15 seconds to go. How many times have we seen this action go down to the final seconds? There's Rossiano on the left.
He's just saying, keep going, keep shooting, keep going straight in. You'll get that stall call on him eventually. And there it is.
Tied at 4.
You can't just let your opponent push you right out of the circle like that. You have to stand your ground. And now Taylor going on the offense.
3 seconds in regulation. The buzzer, the whistle. We'll have overtime.
Overtime. In Class A. The winner of this division from Evergreen Park is Team Yakin.
2-minute overtime again. Sudden death. First to score a point or points. Ruben Saldana from Abonsi Valley on your left. On your right, Titus Taylor, downstate Cahokia.
Taylor in deep on that single leg shot. If he can finish it, he's not been able to, and a nice counter by Saldana.
Boy, Saldana saw a second place medal looking him right in the eye.
Once again, Taylor in. Can't finish it, they go off the edge.
Mark Kristoff, a former state champion himself, is the coach now at Cahokia. And he jumped about 3 feet in the air. He thought his wrestler had it, but not on that move. 1:30 to go.
Second time in the match that Saldana's been able to barrel roll out of that situation, which would seem like a sure takedown.
The Abonsi Valley crew calling for a stall, a point against Taylor.
Well, you're clearly not going to see that. Clint Taylor's had the bulk of the offense, and here he is again on a leg shot, trying to finish a single, can't do it. Saldana is very hard to score on.
1:10 left in the overtime. Saldana getting all he wants here from fellow senior Titus Taylor. Saldana finished 4th a year ago in this weight.
Taylor now needing some injury time. Looks like his left shoulder.
Boy, he's in pain there. Shoulder and upper arm, perhaps. While they're attending to Titus Taylor, we'll see if we can pick up what happened.
Looks like he
landed on the left shoulder.
Landed on the left shoulder and maybe took a little bit of Saldana's knee in that shoulder at the same time.
Well, he's still working here.
Still working on that, trying to finish that shot.
Oh, there, yeah, you can see that he was going on adrenaline right there.
Posting. When he posted on his elbow, that kind of forced it out of joint again.
And instructions from the coaching staff to Ruben Saldana. Well, Taylor is ready. He's back in the center of the mat. 1:10 to go in overtime, tied at 4. 152-pound Class AA. The matchup between Titus Taylor on the right, Ruben Saldana on the left. There's Taylor again.
There's another good leg shot by Taylor, but Saldana looked like he's able to counter this one a little better. Taylor trying to stand up with that and elevate it, but it's going to be a stalemate.
42 seconds to go.
And Taylor clearly has had the better of the offensive shots in this overtime period. He needs to finish one of them now, and he's in on that outside single again. Now he's on his hip.
And there it is. Saldana with the quick move. Titus Taylor tried to force the action, and Saldana, with his experience, made the move and came up with the win in overtime. 6-4, the 152-pound AA champion from Waubonsee Valley, Ruben Saldana. So after all that time, Ruben finally gets one. Good match. Updating at 152 pounds in Class A, Tim Gagan of Evergreen Park, a 9-3 decision over Ben Niles of Yorkville. Gagan, a 3-time qualifier, gets his first state championship. Tim Gagan, there he is. He's your champion at 152 Class A. Now on to 160 in Class A and AA. First, let's take a look at AA, where Bill Zeman of Lyons LaGrange looking to defend his title that he won last year at 152. Zeman on your left in blue. Pat Quirk of Hinsdale Central, his opponent, has lost 6 matches all season, and Rob, 4 of them have been to his opponent tonight, Bill Zeman.
And these two guys know each other awfully well. In fact, this is the 4th time in the last 4 weeks that they've wrestled each other. 4 weeks ago, it was in a dual meet. Then Zeman beat Quirk in the finals of the Hinsdale South Regional, the finals of the Fenton Sectional, and here they are in the state final.
And they're tied at 3 with 52 seconds to go, and Bill Zeman seems to be in a little bit of discomfort. Looks like a shot maybe on the chest bone right there.
Took a head right in the sternum there.
While we have a minute, let's swing over to Class A, where another defending champ is trying to nail down a second title. Mike Greenfield. Greenfield from Belleville Althoff, he's on top right now against Joe Schmolbach of Taylor Ridge Rockridge. Greenfield first at 145 last year, wrestling at 160. Leads it now 4-1 after the first period. Greenfield defeated Brett Runkle, another outstanding wrestler, undefeated to that point in the semifinal, 5-3. Schmolbach over Casey O'Connor of Illini Bluffs in overtime.
Schmolbach, kind of an interesting story getting here. The quarterback on Rockridge's state championship football team, and makes the state finals in wrestling in the same year. Not a bad season.
in trouble now, down by 4 points as Greenfield puts on the pressure. 6-2, you see the score. 1:30 left in period number 2.
Greenfield took on the other undefeated wrestler in this weight class, Brett Runkle of Yorkville, in the semifinals, beat him by a score of 5-3. A lot of people thought that was going to kind of be the state final, and so far it's proved to be the case, as Greenfield's pretty much had his way with Schmolbach.
1:19 to go, second period. 6-2. There is Schmolbach. He trails. It'll be 6-3 as the escape is permitted by Greenfield. Won the sectional at Vandalia 4 straight years. And here he is under Coach Bill Hart, looking for a second championship to end his high school career. Schmolbach, a junior, will be back. Rich Amy, his coach, is also the football coach at Rock Ridge. And now 2 more points. Makes it 8-3 for Greenfield, who has the situation well in hand with 35 seconds to go. Over back to AA now. Let's see how Bill Zeman and Pat Quirk are doing. There is Quirk in red, Zeman in blue, and he leads it 4-3 with 1:35 to go in period number 2. Zeman gets 2 points for the move.
And this is really Zeman's game, takedowns. He'll take you down, he'll let you up, a lot like the style we saw TJ Williams use as he gives up the escape. You know, you wrestle another guy as often as Zeman has wrestled Quirk. You know, the scores tend to get closer and closer and closer because the other guy figures out what you do. And the fact that Zeman still has things pretty much his way, even though he's only got a 2-point lead, indicates that he's still got quite a bit of an advantage.
Well, we have seen some surprises tonight. And it's fair to say that if something happens other than Zeman winning, that would be a surprise. But Zeman from Lyons High School in LaGrange, Quirk from Hinsdale Central, Bill Huskisson is his coach. Mark King, of course, the coach at Lyons.
Stall warning against Quirk, and I think one thing that Zeman wants to do here, he wants to keep Quirk in the center of the mat and not let him work to the edge, as he has a lot in this tournament and a lot in this match.
Zeman going for the legs. He's got the left one. He's got the takedown. 8-4. 5 seconds to go. Second period. Quirk trying to escape. No points awarded. That's the end of the period. And it's a 4-point lead for Bill Zeman.
Zeman, another wrestler who committed during the early signing period. He'll also be coming here to the University of Illinois to continue his college career. Caution for improper starting position.
And Quirk escapes 8-5.
Right away with the stand-up, and he broke the hands. I don't know why more wrestlers don't do that. I think that's the most basic escape move in the book, and probably one of the safest too.
And another takedown.
Get a lot of practice working your escape move against Zeman, because he takes you down a lot.
And again, the permitted escape. 1:30 to go in this match. And Zeman has things in hand.
Zeman has to keep this match in the center of the mat. He's ahead 10-6. He's had all the offense his way. He doesn't have to chase Quirk outside the circle like he was doing a little bit there. Just keep Quirk in the center, and he'll keep this match under control.
Coming up to the final minute.
Another single leg shot by Zeman. Can't finish it. Point for unnecessary roughness given to Quirk. Tom Hennef said Zeman had his hands in the face.
So it's a 3-point edge now with 45 seconds to go. Quirk now trying to make a move and gets 2 points, comes within a point. 10-9.
Scored off Zeman's shot there. Zeman didn't finish it right. Quirk was able to hit back into him and get the points. And now Quirk shoves Zeman away.
23 ticks left. A point given to Zeman, so it's a 2-point edge for Bill Zeman. With plenty of time to go, 20 seconds. You see the clock in the background. Eight seconds and a whistle, a stall warning now against Zeman. 7 seconds to go here. Zeman with the 2-point lead. Quirk's got to do something and do it quickly. 4, 3, 2. Can Quirk pull it off? No. Bill Zeman, his second straight title, this time at 160. And the senior from Lions High in LaGrange has 2 state championships to call his own. We'll be back with more right after this. Updating the 160-pound Class A matchup, Mike Greenfield against Joe Schmolbach. Schmolbach from Rock Ridge and Greenfield from Belleville-Althoff, looking to become a repeat champion. He does it. Mike Greenfield with the fall with 13 seconds left in the match at 5:47 takes the 160-pound Class A championship from Joe Schmolbach of Rock Ridge. At 171 pounds, Mike Weber and Carl Zindars. Zindars, who finished second at 160 a year ago, a technical fall at 4:26 to win the championship at 171 in Class A. In Class AA, Sean Carter from Thornton High in Harvey finishes an undefeated season, a 13-8 win over Tony Buchek of Granite City. Granite City, a qualifier a year ago. Buchek finishes second now. Then at 189, in Class AA, Shane Zajac with a whitewash, 8-0. Zajac from Lincoln Way over Luke Kalman of LaSalle, Peru. And the 189-pounder in Class A, West Folk of Dakota, Chip Holder of Muhammad Seymour. Holder led this with seconds to go, but watch what happens here. He had already been penalized 1 point for stalling. And then at the very end of the match, watch here. That is Holderer. Folk in the maroon, Holder in the blue. Holder is leading right here, but then gets a 2-point stalling call with 1 second to go, and that finishes the championship at the hands of West Folk.
The rule book sequence, 1 point, 1 point. The next violation is 2, and that's what made the difference. 2-point stalling call with 1 second left. That makes the difference for a state title for West Folk.
With the heavyweights, 2 undefeateds, but Mike Russo ended up undefeated with a pin at 142. Russo from Bradley Bourbonnais over Al Licca of Glenbard North. And Russo, a big, fast pin. He wins the title in Class AA. In Class A, Damon Davis against Jamin Soria. Soria, the only wrestler in Illinois history to place all 4 years in the heavyweight division. Well, he had his way with Damon Davis of Petersburg Porter. Let's take a look at some of that action here, Rob.
Well, right here you'll see Davis get that arm bar. He'll just come out to the side. Eventually. There he goes.
Soria from Ashton working on top there.
Now he's out to the side. You'll just see him walk it over very slowly, and finally Davis goes over to his back, and that's where he'll finish him off right there.
143 of the match. Jamin Soria, his second title in 3 years, and congratulations to him. He is the heavyweight champion in Class A. We'll be back with a final word or two after this. Tonight, the individual championships, Rob Sherrill, as we look at a closed out assembly hall. Things went pretty much according to Hoyle, at least for Class A. Class AA, a couple of big upsets, starting with Matt Goldstein at 112.
Well, I think the state finals prove that nobody is upset proof in this state tournament. Matt Goldstein was undefeated. Tony Davis of Mount Carmel was undefeated. Both of them lost very tight, tough matches, but that's the way things go in the state tournament. You just can never predict what'll happen.
Rafael Avila of Belvedere upsetting Goldstein. Reggie Wright of Proviso East with the upset over Tony Davis. So really Belvedere the only team with a couple of state champions tonight.
It's amazing. The first 57 years of the state tournament, Belvedere with one state champion. Tonight, they're the only team in Class AA with two, and congratulations to them.
Congratulations also, Tyler Hurry got his third championship. Jamin Soria, his second in the heavyweight division in Class A. Tom LeCure of Plano won his second. Bill Zeman of Lyons won his second. And, of course, T.J. Williams has got his third in a row. And I'm sure next year we'll see him trying to match Brother Joe and go for 4 straight in 4 years.
I'm sure we will, and it's interesting that both the guys who are going for a third title tonight, Tyler Hurry and T.J. Williams, wound up winning that title. You've been here a couple of times and won it. You've proven you know how to win, and those guys did it.
And it's interesting to see how many matches turned literally in the final seconds. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this. Our thanks to the IHSA folks, David Fry, Jim Flynn, Don Robinson, Marty Hickman and company. And thank them for putting another fine meet on here for the 58th Wrestling Individual Championships in the state of Illinois. Here at the Assembly Hall, we bid you leave right now. Our coverage of the 1995 IHSA Individual Championships was produced and directed by Rick Godwin. Graphics coordinator Bart Fox. Coordinating producer for IHSA events is Dave Turner. Production manager Sheila Brown. Executive producer for Sports Channel Kathleen Karp. Our senior executive producer is Mike Bogad. Remote facilities provided by Trio Video of Chicago. Congratulations to all the participants in this year's state meet. We extend a special congratulations to this year's state champions. For Rob Sherrill and our crew here in Champaign, I'm Mike Lederman saying so long for now. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel.